Hello and welcome back to the Bureau, Liminal Horror Actual Play Series hosted by Gehenna Gaming. My name is Josh Tomansky. I am your conductor for this series. Just have a quick roundtable reminder of who we are and where we can find you guys.
Not the order in which we go, but since everybody's being quiet, I'm going to assume it was me. Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Brandy Rose at the Brandy Rose on Twitter and Cutest Patoot on Twitch and TikTok, and Brandy Rose Official on Instagram. I should really get the branding under control, but I probably won't. So that's where you can find me. And today I'll be playing Bire. Brandy.
I can go next. I've always been last, but hey, let's make it more confusing. Randy Alvarenga. Hey, how's it going? I'm Randy. I am a TTRPG streamer, professional actor, and all around just crazy guy here in the Pacific Northwest. You can follow me on Twitter at RollerRaja. That's ROLLERRAJA. To see all of the work that I'm doing in different actual plays and streams and charity events and all those things. So come hang out. I'd love to have you. For this stream, I'm playing Xavier Cortez, who is our investigative journalist who wants to be better than he is. So.
Hi there, I'm Megan McCauley. I do all the things, music, film, TTRPG, and you can keep up to date on all of those things by following me on all of the socials, which is whatever they are / melee damage. Or you can just type in Megan McCauley, and usually I am the first one that will pop up in that search. And tonight I am playing Yulia Belsky, who is Eastern European with a lot of secrets, very big hair, all full of secrets.
Okay, now before we begin, a couple quick announcements. The first of which is, we have merchandise. There is a bonfire store. It should be in the link below, and you can buy shirts like the one I'm wearing. The second point, so as usual, if you enjoy anything you see during this session or this series, you can pick up Liminal Horror and the Bureau in physical form from Exalted Funeral, and a digital form on the itch.io page for Goblin Archives. Now, I did want to note, based on some of the support for the first episode of this series, we did sell out the first print run of the Bureau in physical form. By the time this goes live, I believe the second print run should be in stock. We were aware of the dwindling stocks. We kind of got ahead of that before it happened, but there was a little bit of a delay, so it wasn't quite full. However, if it is not in stock by the time you see this, go to the Exalted Funeral and check the Remind Me button, and they will send a nice email once the next order ships through. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Last week, we picked up with a group in the Cube Farm on the administration level. They had just entered and were noticed by this entity, this overseeing figure standing in the center of the farm, staring, red light out of their eyes. But something strange happened. Something was different. A weird feeling in the stomach. Noticing things were out of place. And most importantly, Yulia is nowhere to be seen. In their stead, an individual that Bire and Xavier had never seen before, Jaime, had appeared. Now, Jaime was under the impression that they were there the entire time, but Bire and Xavier didn't know who they were. However, as a newly formed group, I suppose, they pushed through, dodging the eyes of the Overseer, sometimes not terribly effectively, before entering a safe room where they found an individual named Janet Garcia, who was the assistant to the director of the Bureau. She was able to provide a little bit of background information, but namely that a director override had been put into place, locking the building down effectively, limiting who can come in and come out. The only way to lift that was to get the director's key card and head to the director's office to input the key card and unlock the systems. Now, she had good evidence that the director was still alive, given that the line of succession had not passed to her like it would in the event of the director's demise. He was last present, being seen heading up to the 10th level of the building, and presumably that's where he sits, last anybody was aware. So continuing the goal of getting out of the building, our group dove into it's like a maintenance conduit and climbed their way through corridor and wire-filled, recesses to end up in the maintenance level. Now, as a reminder, this level is kind of stylized by brutalist concrete halls, just square walls, concrete floors, piping and conduits kind of coming out of the walls at an angle, just the low rumble of a barely cycling HVAC system, and darkness, with the exception of sparsely placed red emergency lights. The group had come out in this strange hub of technology and eventually made their way into what appeared to be this central transfer hub of the floor. It was a room that had exits on all sides. There was an elevator to the north. There was the door that came in to the east. To the west, there was another set of doors, and to the south as well. But the room itself was pretty, bare bones. It was plain white walls, concrete floors again, a couple of neatly stacked piles of boxes kind of pushed off to the side, maybe some benches for people to sit and take a rest, a couple of dollies to ship packages, but otherwise nondescript. But when they entered, pushing through the door, they saw an entity. A floating individual, blue in hue, translucent, floating in the center of the room. They were dressed like a spaceman, wearing a bulky outfit with a backpack and a rounded helmet over their head. And their back was turned. And that's where we ended play last session. Now, we'll pick up from that point today. Bire, Xavier, you've entered this room. Jaime is still by your side at this moment. You see this entity. And again, like I said, it's like somebody wearing this bulky spacesuit. But you can see through them. They're not physically there, and they're floating a couple of feet off the ground, just in the center of this room. Now, this image, this whatever it may be, slowly begins to turn. And you see the reflective edge of the helmet starting to come into view, the visage of a face beyond. And as it turns far enough, you see the shattered front of this helmet. The glass that was there is cracked, revealing a desiccated face beyond. And as it turns, and its eyes look upon the both of you, a familiar feeling returns. It's this swooping in the stomach, and this vague bit of fatigue. it's almost as if you're just nodding off. You close your eyes, but bolt awake after a second, that little respite before sleep. And as you think, when you blink back open, your eyes are just accosted with this glare of red. It's almost like a flashbang in this case. But when your vision comes to, you look upon a changed scene. For one, Jaime gone. Yulia stands in their place. Now, the room is also different. Instead of the floating entity sitting in the center of the room, the boxes that were once there are disheveled. They're kind of shattered all throughout the room. You see the bodies of 2 agents scattered on the ground. And the third, floating about 6 feet off the ground, bent at the waist so that their arms dangle forward. The room itself coated in blood. You see a handprint on the elevator door just like streaking down, and a few feet from that is where the body of one of the agents lie. Now, Yulia, you were just in the cube farm. The last thing you remember is diving into a cubicle before the red light from that overseer passed over the cube, just missing you. And then you awaken. It's like a snap. I guess the swoop of the stomach and the closing of the eyes, a quick nod, but a jolt back to consciousness. And you find yourself standing in a place you've never seen before, next to 2 people you do know. And then you look down. Your hands are stained with a mix of deep red and flecks of black, and strung between them as you're holding on is a thin bit of wire. What do you guys do?
Scream.
No, don't do that. I have no idea what went on. I blink my eye. This is what happens. Is weirdest shit I've been through since Burning Man.
Oh, did you see any other versions of us? The last guy who was here was asking or saying that he had met us somewhere else and that we had met him. So maybe you were like off helping them, right? That's
No,
how.
you remember I died in Cube, the red light, the overseer. Yeah, no, I blink my eye. I'm here now.
Oh,
Okay.
wait. Does that mean either of us can also blink out? I don't like that.
I mean, I have shadow maggots under my skin. I don't really think that blinking out is the worst part of our problems right now.
You know, I would rather blink and time travel than have maggots under skin. I've won this one. I will take as win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So they're dead. That's a lot of blood. This was maybe not the best room to stay in.
Why is he leaned over like that?
Why is he floating?
Yes. I hate everything about this place.
It's as if somebody was grabbing them like invisibly from the waist and pulling up. So their center of gravity is there. Their legs and arms dangle. You don't see a face, but you do see, black pants and presumably a white button-up.
Well, do we ignore it? Do we try to get him down, or what's the protocol here? When you find a dead person, you're supposed to close their eyes. What do you do when they're floating 6 feet off the ground?
I take out my camera to record him.
I can go look for see if there's something attached to him, maybe a rope we can't see. If it looks too treacherous, then maybe we don't touch. But if something obvious presents itself,
yeah. What does it look like on my phone?
As you take the picture or record, it's as it seems.
Okay. So I have a recording of it. Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, they're definitely gonna let you go now.
Oh, wait. Well, we
Oh,
just don't tell
boy.
them. We just don't tell them. And he puts his phone back in his pocket, and now he's like hella nervous about it.
Oh boy. Well,
all
I
right.
mean, when we came in here, we were looking for. Oh, well, we were told to look for the janitor
Yeah,
person, right?
yeah. I think.
I hope it's not him. I don't think he'd be wearing a
Ooh.
suit.
No, he's wearing like a what looks like a lab coat, maybe. Right?
I don't know.
I'm turning my head to sort of get the angle of of his like floating self like in view. All right. Yeah. Let's keep looking. And maybe the janitor has like a closet or something around here with proof. Like maybe what we need isn't on him. Regardless, we might need to get past this guy.
Oh, well, wait, you weren't here. Are you still holding the wire, by the way?
She is wrapped up and tucked in pocket.
You might use it, yeah, fair. So we met people that work here that weren't dead. And they said the building's on lockdown and that only the director's key card can unlock it to let us out, but they refused to go out to look for him. So now we're supposed to go up to what floor?
Well, we're eventually the 10th, but before then
10th.
we have to turn the power back on
Yeah,
to get the elevator working.
so we can get up there, so we can get his key card.
And thus we
And
are
also something's out here killing people, so there's
in
that.
maintenance. So there's that. That's never creepy.
No, not at all. Strange dark boiler room in basement. So always good things happen there. Every horror movie I see, everyone has happy ending. Yeah, okay. Did they give explanation of, is that where we have to go to turn power back on? Is like some strange dark corner of this place? Did they tell you which direction to go, or is it in janitor's closet?
They sent us down this air vent thing here. So we need to find the janitor to help us turn the power on, and then we can try to use the elevator to get to the director so that he can put the building back in order, I guess, and let us out. They weren't very helpful.
They
I
weren't
almost punched her.
helpful. It was very odd.
I did not care for her at all.
The vague booking, yes. Okay, so all right, we definitely need to stick together. What do you propose we do? Is look for this janitor first, or go down this well? Okay, air shaft or whatever. So janitor first, you think? Yes.
Yes.
And you said you saw him in lab coat, or they tell you he's in lab coat?
No, I was talking about this floating guy in the lab coat. I was just saying he doesn't look like he's
very much does not look like janitor. No. We saw supply closet earlier for things. I think as where we found the shop and
we're upstairs now. Oh, sorry, that wasn't clear.
We're upstairs now. We went through this shaft thing.
Yeah, I blink. I show up here. So, okay, how far up are we?
I don't
know.
But
we're definitely up.
They just led us to the entrance, like it's like a crawl space kind of thing.
Well, good news is maybe is another supply closet or something around here that is like janitor area, like you say. I think is probably a good bet to look there.
Okay.
So, the room that we're in has like the door that we came in from, and another like more doors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys came in through the eastern side, and these are, they're like push doors, sort of, instead of the metal and wooden ones you've seen previously, they're probably polyurethane or something of that sort. Kind of like saloon doors, but covering the full extent there. You came in through the east, there are doors that go to the south, there's doors to the west, and the elevators on the north side of the room. And looking at it, you do see, clearly marked floor 4 on the elevator frame.
Okay.
there's our answer. And he points out at the sign.
Yeah, hard to notice details with all the blood.
Yeah.
So, opposite the way that we came, I'm gonna start to kind of walk so that I don't step in the blood, as much as I can to try another door. Oh.
As you begin to cross the room, this room is silent for the most part. There's that small rumbling of a barely cycling HVAC that's kind of permanent in this level here. But as you begin to walk, you hear just slaps, just big, like, balls of rain, just big globs of water hitting the floor. Just bloop, bloop, on the concrete.
No.
And you can see it, the floating individual, vaguely, not quite center of the room, a little off center. It's just liquid is dripping off their fingertips, splashing onto the floor.
We're gonna ignore that. And I just want to try the next door.
Is there any containers?
Oh.
There's plenty of boxes around here.
I'm looking for something smaller, something just to put under the dripping to see what happens.
I think it's probably easy enough to find like a mop bucket or something like that that's kind of been scattered in this room.
Yeah, I'll just see that. Because I take it the light being sort of like red and warning-y, that I can't really get too many details. Does it look like normal water? Is it like weird?
So this room, like I said, this room is basically dark, but there is a red light kind of stationed above the elevator that's casting enough room or enough light in this room to see what's going on. Everything is still kind of tinged in darkness. The liquid looks dark.
I slosh it around, but then I put it down. Just yeah.
Okay. So you put the bucket underneath the drips?
Yeah.
And as you're sliding the bucket, you hear like the of the water coming off of them. You get close enough to see the shine of red eyes and notice that the liquid is viscous. It's almost tar-like in nature. Just this black ichor.
That's what I thought.
As you put the bucket underneath, the figure starts to shift.
Oh.
You hear just like a sickening crack of bone as it like jolts. And the arms start to shift and move. More of that black liquid starts to pool down from beyond their sleeves to the point where it's dripping in this molasses-like consistency off the tip of their fingers. And in a movement, they flick their arms. They're still folded over, just dripping black ichor, but they flick their arms, and tendrils of that black liquid just gob across the room and land on those two other dead bodies lying on the ground.
I'm running away from this thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna like turn around at the like sound and be like,
Sorry,
"What did you do?"
I messed with the dude, and then I'm like running through the door like I'm gonna.
Worst adventure party I have ever had to deal with. I mean, like seriously, what? Just every danger around corner. Run, move.
Yes,
move.
we're running. We're running through the next door. We're not even checking it first. We're running through it.
Okay, is that the door on the western side, the one directly across from where you guys entered? Okay. And as you run across, if you take a quick look over your shoulder, you see the floating individual just yank up on their arms, and the two bodies that were there just sort of leap up and are like marionetted on the black goo coming from their fingers.
Nope.
But you rush. And it's one of those push doors. You're easily just like bang, and then through the door. So the three of you go in, the doors close, and back and forth a little bit. Now, real quick, you guys find yourself in a storage room of sorts. You see steel frame shelves in neat rows. It's stacked floor to ceiling with supplies. And all over the shelves, it's pretty obvious, like cleaning supplies. There's ladders, storage containers, all manner of just like general supplies here at a quick glance. But as you guys push through that door, you can still hear like the shifting of movement and the crack of bones coming from the other room. What do you do?
I would like to lock doors somehow.
Barricade.
Yeah,
It's a push door, right?
Yeah, it's like I call it like
swinging
saloon doors.
Yeah.
Where they're swinging. They're meant for people to have like pallets of material pushed through, and so they're not locking doors. They're
Right.
just.
But if
Can
we
we
put
push
something
like
in front of it,
one
it
of the
won't be able to push
shelves?
this way, right?
Yeah,
It
maybe
can't
we could
push
put one
in.
of the shelves.
Like we could push out into that room, but they couldn't push in.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. But if
Right.
you dump the shelf there, that would stop them.
That's the plan.
We'll
Yep.
do that.
Okay. So how do you do that?
Immediately start grabbing the nearest shelf and dragging it hysterically.
Yes, help our teamwork. We all pull down.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, because we've reached a moment of tension, I think this is a good time for a roll. However, I think only one of you gets to make that roll.
Ooh.
Who is going to be most effective at dragging a shelf, with the support of the other two?
Well, who has the highest strength? Oh, that would be Yulia.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, she will grab top and start to pull and go. Grab sides. Come on, we move.
Oh, all right. I'm terrified. I'm just like shaking as I do everything. I'm obviously not the strongest person at doing this.
Okay. Now, you will be able to get the shelf over there. That's not the question. It's how fast you get the shelf over there. So I need a roll. You're looking for D20 equal to or under your current strength score.
I rolled a 5 under 12.
Okay, lovely.
Nice.
So in time, the three of you are able to just like shift one of these shelves over, and they're not light. Like this is industrial shelving, but it's it's only 8 feet high or so. It's not like warehouse shelving or anything like that. So you're able to move one of these sections over and just you tip it down. Do you like try and neatly push it up against the door? How do you go about it?
I would say if we're in a hurry, probably just push it over. But I don't know. Breaking it also would not be ideal. So
Yeah, agreed.
We're just dragging it in front
Yeah.
of the door
yeah, we're just gonna drag it
at first.
Okay. Now, as you kind of drag it, and it's maybe a little bit of drag, maybe a little bit of push. So it's not like perfectly placed in front of it. You probably tip it just a little bit, and some of the materials kind of spill out and clatter onto the floor, making a giant mess of open cleaning supplies, buckets, and whatnot. Now, the door itself, the frame is set a little bit, recessed from where the wall meets it. So there's a good gap where the door would swing open and smack against the walls. So as you guys shift the shelving in front of it, it's enough to block the door, just not all the way, because it can still push. And after you shift the shelf, you hear the rustle of movement, and you see the doors like push and go like not 2/3, like 1/3 of the way, enough to see a bit of a gap there. And you see the forms of 2 agents just try to push and grab through the door. Their skin, bleach white, with tendrils of black just coming up their necks. Their eyes just bloodshot to the point where it's almost glowing, and black ichor sort of dripping out of the eyes themselves. And they sit there and shift and push, and they're not able to kind of get much in the way of purchase, but kind of moving and grabbing at materials and shifting and pulling.
Yulia would like to take shotgun now at point blank range and put right in between both of their heads and pull trigger.
Okay, easy enough. Just a loud crack, and this room isn't terribly large, so it's just this blast of noise. Causes your ears to ring with the loose of a shotgun. It's just a scattering of black ichor as the door swings closed.
There we go. No harm, no foul. Better adventure now. Better than spiderweb.
Mhm.
Oil. I'm not sure what that was, but hopefully, those two having a much worse day than us now. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. That's okay. Whew. Well,
What the hell is going on here?
now that we have a minute, we're just gonna look around and be like, well, this is a supply closet, so this is a lot closer to what we were looking for. Maybe we should see if we can find anything in here before
Or
we keep.
and then I start looking for doors. Anything that is like
also.
very janitor like.
So it's pretty easy. This room is open. Again, it's dark in here, but you have the emergency lights kind of casting enough to see.
I also can use my LED flashlight.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys have good vision of this room, and it's pretty easy to take in. To the south, on the southern end, there is another one of those push doors that can open and shuts. To the north, it's a hallway that seems to lead off to some other rooms. But on the western side, there was a nice wooden door set up against it. However, in the rest of this room, like I said, there are just rows of steel-framed shelves. Pretty neat. They're all, like I said, they're all packed with supplies. And, the first one was cleaning supplies, storage containers. Some of the others seem to have, like, spare parts, various pieces of strange equipment. You see, like, an Apple monitor from the 90s just, like, perched up on one of them. A couple of taped shut boxes. Just a bunch of just random shit kind of going all over the place. There was also a small forklift kind of pushed against one of the walls, maybe in one of the back corners. And on top of the HVAC, it's a slight rustling. There you go. It's every so often. It's not constant. It's in the silence after the ringing of the shotgun blast and it subsides. It's just like a.
I'm gonna slowly try to peer into that wooden door.
That's on the far side of the room.
Yeah.
So as Xavier is kind of crossing the room to get to the door, does Pire and Yuya do anything, or just follow behind?
I follow behind, but I follow behind with shotgun still out just in case anything tried to attack my friend.
Okay.
I'm following and like looking, to the side, not like in depth, like scouring through things, but looking to see if there's anything that catches my eye that could be useful.
Pire, as you're walking, probably third in line, you hear one of the cardboard boxes that's taped up, shoved into the shelving units.
Mm-hmm.
Shift ever so slightly on the frame it sits in.
I'm gonna check that out a little bit carefully. I'm gonna check that out.
Pick it up.
Yes.
You feel the weight of something in it. It's no longer shaking.
No, great.
What'd you
Yuya?
pick up?
Mm-hmm.
I like look back and I'm like, what did you grab?
I don't know. And I'm gonna open it.
I need you to roll a D100 for me, please.
Oh boy. Oh. Maybe I should have done that with my maggots. 51.
What was that?
51.
Oh, 51. Okay.
No more maggots, please.
No. As you open the box, you see inside
A puppy.
is an obsidian pyramid. It's
What?
about fist-sized. It's like a pyramidal shape.
Hmm.
Black, like the deepest black you've ever seen, just sitting in the base of a cardboard box.
What's in it?
A pyramid. Like a little black. Like Stuart Simple would lose his mind black pyramid.
Question.
And I'm
what
gonna
what does the
get a pic-
bureau symbol look like?
pyramid. It's a black pyramid.
Pyramidal in nature. Yeah.
I was just making sure. For my friend.
I'm gonna pick it up because
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in my purse.
So how do you go about picking it up?
I don't like that question. Normally,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take it. Would I know instinctually that I can use maggots to move things? Like, do I feel that as like an ability that I have, or is that something that like I can do but I don't realize?
I would say at this point, it's not quite instinctual, but I leave that up to you and how you want to interpret it.
Okay, we'll build up to that. So yeah, I just pick it up, put it because it's like a little tchotchke.
Yeah, like a paperweight.
Yeah, but it was rattling, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I'll take that with me.
Yeah. And as you reach into the box, and your fingers touch the cold, black, smooth surface, you feel this spark. Not literal, but this feeling. It's like when you lick a battery, or this.
That is quite a literal spark. I've had to do that before.
Or the feeling when you try and force two like-sided magnets together, just like this, this flow of electrons, just kind of through your fingers, palpable energy as you pick up the pyramid.
Ooh. Weird. Putting that in my bag, not touching that again.
Okay. And as you go to put it in your bag, the angles of the triangle, and you jolt upwards about a foot. And as you drop it into your bag, you lay it back on the ground.
That thing. What was that? You jumped like scared cat for a moment. What was
Yeah,
that?
that's a great way to explain that. Did you get cat powers now?
No, I didn't jump. It made me jump. I don't know how to explain this.
Maybe don't touch again. I think if you have to get out of bag, maybe like wrap coat around it before.
I won't touch it again. Yeah, that's smart. I don't know. I don't know. It felt like I should just probably not leave it there. And I don't know. It sounded, I don't know. There's no sentence that I'm going to say here that doesn't sound crazy. So let's just keep going.
But then again, if we get stuck down shaft trying to get into, a car thing, maybe, you touch that, it shoot you to the top. And then we don't need the elevator to work. There's lots of ways this could be good or bad.
Or we throw it at someone and it shoots them away. Well, it's all things.
Pointy end goes towards the bad guy. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Pointy ends. Okay. You can add obsidian pyramid paperweight to your inventory.
Right.
Of that.
On that note, is there anything else you guys do?
There was something you were looking at.
The door. Yeah, right across.
I will follow behind you. Just stay out of way of the front of the gun. I don't want to accidentally hit you in case.
Oh, I accidentally will not do that. Thank you for the warning. Yeah. All right. I open the door very slowly.
Okay. And before you do, as you kind of get up and approach it, and in like the little bit of light you get from some of the emergency lights, you see kind of, not crudely, but certainly hand painted on the door, you see the words, janitor's office.
This is it. His, maybe, I put my ear on the door to see if I hear any movement or anything on the inside.
You hear, just, it's coming from, faded speaker, just this music, and it's kind of reverberating through the door, and it's probably like Jimmy Buffett or something recognizable.
Whoa. There's music on the other side of this door. Maybe the janitor's still here.
I would fucking hope so.
I mean,
He's got a very big mess to clean in that other room.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he's not going to be happy with this. Let's say it was them.
Well, let's not say anything at all.
Oh, fair.
Let's say anything at all.
I am going to knock. Now that I think someone might be in there, and then I'm going to open the door.
You knock, pop, 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 pop. No response after a second or two. Push open the door, and as you push open the door, the just clear light just floods out, as well as the sound of the music just kind of like coming out of the room.
Hello?
How does he have power in here?
What?
Hello? Janitor, did we get his name?
No, we did not.
Oh, the janitor person?
And you hear
Oh, that's
like
great.
this-
People
this-
love
this-
being called that.
You hear sort of evil voice kind of calling out from the room. Come in. Come in.
God, he's ancient. Okay. Oh. We're going in.
Yeah.
Push the door, and the light sort of flips out. You find yourself entering a dingy room. Its concrete walls, definitely repainted, maybe in like a gray or a blue color. There's an old sofa, a stained coffee table. What looks to be a clearly recycled desk, like somebody else had been using it and it had been cleaned from presumably the garbage. There are shelves of cleaning supplies, equipment. You see aging posters, tropical landscapes that are pasted crudely to the concrete walls. And then behind that desk, lounging with his feet up, steel-toe boots clearly visible, clad in blue jumpsuit, is probably the oldest man you've ever seen. His hair, his skin is just like wrinkled to the point of ridiculousness. His hair is just shock white, well, the hair he has left, at least. And as you enter, he flashes a pretty toothless grin.
Yuri puts away the gun and just kind of puts her hand in her pocket and just has wire around her hand in case he tries anything, but she's not going to deafen anyone in concrete room with gun at this point.
Hi.
And again, he kind of cracks that smile, that toothless grin. Oh, they finally sent me the assistance.
We were not. Are we assistants?
We don't work here.
Yeah, we don't work here. We're visitors. I show my guest badge.
Oh, I've needed help for so long. I'm glad they finally seen my calls.
Maybe we should just kill him.
What they said he.
I've
might
gotten
be able
on
to
board
help
with
us.
this very quickly.
They said he might know how to at least turn the power back on. He has power.
He doesn't look like he knows his name.
And he's like getting up from behind the desk, and it's kind of slow,
Oh,
and
jeez.
like feeble, and he's slowly walking over to like a bulletin board, and it's like,
Doc Brown, if we help you, do you think you can turn power back on for rest of building?
oh, turn the power on. It's on the list.
Can it be on the top of the list?
Precisely.
Come.
If he touches me, I'm screaming.
I will stand closer to him than be to be the first person who might be touched. I hope not.
And You can see there's these like standing in front of like a corkboard, and he goes, maybe they give you a promotion if you spend enough time here.
We just want to get out. All right. So power. Wait, I look at the board. The power is on there somewhere.
Yeah. And so he looks at you and he's like squinting. And he looks back at the board. And he goes, I have so much to do. Here's my list. 1. Clean the bathroom.
No.
2.
No.
There's that damn mess in the server room.
No.
And 3 is
Turn the power on.
turn the power on. See, you'll have my job soon enough.
I don't want it.
Wait. I like lean back to where he can't see me, and I start doing the like keep him going thing. I want to sneak and try to write on the board, like mix the numbers up so that power is on the top.
I will try to distract. Don't you think that maybe if you have to clean other rooms, perhaps having the light first might help? You know, sometimes even with light, it's hard to get all the spots. You don't want to miss a spot. I mean, I feel like light most important, scrubbing out really bad stains.
And he kind of turns and looks, and he's squinting. He goes, "There's plenty of light. That's what the red is for. It keeps you dark vision as you deal with these spaces. You don't want to go back and forth. It just degrades the vision."
No.
I'm like trying to erase the number very quietly on the whiteboard.
But especially in the bathroom, you know, in low lighting, you don't want to miss a stain in a bathroom. That's the health and safety violation.
And he looks and he says,
What?
I don't think you'll have that problem.
No, she's right. Clear OSHA violations happening. Danger in the workplace, E. coli, salmonella. We need to, you know, I think at some point, and she looks to see where Xavier is on switching the numbers, if he's been able to do that yet. And she goes, I think at some point you might have thought about what we were saying, because I think those numbers, you look in first draft, I think you write power at the top. Look at that. You are very clever. How did you do that? We didn't
And he goes, no, I am still got all the pieces. And he looks back at the list, which is clearly like changed, and yeah, the power. Most important first thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. You take care of other tasks. I go get power. And he starts walking like.
Should one of us come with you? Shouldn't we come help you with the power?
No, it's all good.
Whoa, I thought.
What do we do now?
We should definitely follow him.
Yeah.
But if we follow him, maybe he won't. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I guess.
I think we're sneaking behind him as he's going towards the power.
I'm gonna grab like a mop, so that if he says, like he turns out, I'll be like, I'm just looking for the bathroom. So, grab a mop.
Good intuition. Follow me. And he starts walking. Now he exits the janitor's room, opens the door, walks across storage. You see him stop. He looks at the shelves. He goes and he throws around. He grabs a bucket and a mop. Puts it in, starts wheeling it. Walks over to the door where you guys push the shelves, and he stares up, and he's just like staring at it.
Oh yeah, that was always there, huh? Yeah. Weird place to put a shelf. Strange.
And you watch, he reaches forward, grabs the shelf, and
Oh my.
My God.
and then walks
Eating their
forward.
Wheaties.
Yeah, he walks forward with the mop bucket through those double doors. And you see him, like, as the doors are, like, pushing back and forth, takes the mop out of the bucket, and he starts mopping up the mess you guys left in front of the door.
Didn't you want to do the power first?
Yeah, that was number 1 on the list.
And he looks, and he's, like, turned around, and the doors are just, like...
I like slightly push the door open a little bit, and I just go, Mr.
Power.
Janitor, you should do the power. As every time he starts doing that.
and he's mopping the floor. And the thing is, so that floating entity, gone.
Oh.
It's not in the room that he's in. It's just the 2 bodies that you have turned into mush. And
We didn't do that.
That you turned into mush.
You know, we didn't see it really. You know, what's reality here? Really.
And so he picks one, drags it, takes the other, kind of shifts it on there, and they get the mop and onto the floor. Like,
What does he do with the bucket of
No.
black sludge? I just need to know.
it's still there. That's a little ways away from the door at this point. He hasn't quite gotten to that yet.
Okay.
But he's currently, like, you know, putting the mop in and, like, sloshing this super wet mop onto the ground. Just.
I also have a mop, so I'm gonna go through the doors like towards him, and I'm gonna use my mop to like stop his mop motion and be like, the power!
And he looks. He squints. They send me the assistance I finally asked for.
I'm gonna beat this man to death if somebody does not take this mop away from me right now.
I come over there to I see the fight about to ensue, and I grab the mop and I go, actually, assisting is our main job. So why don't you go do the power now? It's number 1 on the list.
Yes. And he reaches into the pocket. Power. Step 1. He's like pausing for an uncomfortable period of time.
Beat the shit out of him. He has 10 seconds.
You.
Every time you like tense with the mop, I go, please. No.
You need to get Dr. Allen back in his room.
What?
Step 1, Dr. Allen needs to go back into his room.
Who is Dr. Allen?
Number 2.
Is that man in that coat?
This is important. The fail-safe valves at the water pumps. They need to be turned back on, or the power won't work. The generators. Kaboosh. Important. Step 3. And he's still like reading this list. Restart the power in the control room. And he goes and he starts to fold this little paper.
I feel like only one of those steps is actually important, but okay.
I look at the 2 of my party members and I go, as weird as everything is in here, I wonder if those might be important to do.
Should we split or should we do it together? The choice is yours. Really, it's what you guys are comfortable with. If we want to split, I'm fine with that. If we want to to all of these. Wait, you think Dr. Strangeman in lab coat that we saw? And also, I'm not saying that Janitor Man is the same as the floaty weird guy in the room, but I've never seen both of them in the same room together at the same time. I will just throw that out there.
Fair.
And as you guys are talking, just off in the distance, you hear this fumble, like, boom. And then followed by this echoing scream. This, just coming through the halls. And Amos, the janitor, again, his name is printed on this little outfit. He looks up, he kind of gives us like a smile, and then he kind of goes back to his task.
I really don't like that man.
Was that Dr. Allen?
Such a nice man. It's a shame what happens.
Wait, what happened?
Splash.
Excuse me. I like go on the other side of the mop, like, and I like look down where his gaze is, and I'm like, what happened to Dr. Allen? Please, if we're trying to get him back to the room, where is his room? We need both of those.
He looks at you and they finally sent the assistants.
Okay, that's it.
I love everything about this. All right. Look. Yes, I am an assistant. Where is how do I find Dr. Allen? What happened to him?
And he kind of like shakes his head and he squints for me. He's around. He's just not in his room at the moment.
If he laughs again, he's dead.
Oh, okay, Mr. Amos Janitor. Please no more laughing. This is a serious matter. Anytime he gets ready to laugh, I stub my toe really hard on the ground. Like I trip over something. I want him to not laugh.
I thought you meant you were like gonna kick him when he laughed. I was like, how is that different from what I was gonna do?
I feel like
I love that Beery has developed from like, I'm so scared that now I am angry.
Yeah.
I'm so annoyed. I'm so done. I had maggots under my skin. That was a turning point for me as a person. I'm about to beat the shit out of this old man if we do not get a next step within the next 2 seconds.
All right. So?
Okay, so we need to collect a wandering scientist who apparently had something unfortunate happen to him.
Yeah, where is his room?
Oh yeah, where and she gives up. She's gonna grab Amos by the collar and pull him up and be like, "Where is his office?"
And as you grab Amos, there's this like fog that was in his eyes that kind of like lifts, and you feel like steel trap hands just onto yours. And he kind of gives you and he goes, "Please respect the position. I kindly ask that you unhand me."
I look at B-Day's wrists. Are there like marks, like slight, like very strong, like red marks or something?
I wouldn't say he's holding on that long.
Okay.
Peter probably felt it. That was like,
yeah. All right.
It's a good thing I didn't try beating the shit out of him.
Oh, okay. Then I didn't have to look stupid. Right. Cool. I try to lean on something and then like kind of fumble over, and I'm like, okay. Regardless, Mr. Amos, where do we take Dr. Allen?
He says in his office.
Okay. He kind of like waves in vaguely like what would be a southern direction towards the door, like the other door you guys haven't entered yet.
Okay.
All right, I think I have planned, right?
Please.
So one of us stay in doorway between this room and where he just waved out that door. We hold door open. We keep one eye on janitor, make sure he does not, scurry away, run away from us. And then other two, we search hallway for doctor's office and see what's going. But always within eye shot of each other if possible. Try not to separate too far in case anything weird happens. But almost like daisy chain, like visuals everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm so
Okay.
glad you're here.
Yeah, same.
All right, let's do it. B-Day, do you want to stay here or do you want to be on the search team?
I can stay at the door. I have the police baton and the mop, so
All right.
I can.
Do you have light? Of any sort?
Light. I have light. Let me check my character keeper. I got bolt cutters. I'm wearing a bulletproof vest. No, I do not have light.
But she's got the power of maggots at her side.
I will give you a video camera that I have, and it has light on it.
The light?
But as I will be with Xavier here, so and he's got light. So we have light as team. You now have light and shield for the camera.
Okay, and I'll carry that for the time being.
If anything,
as you guys are talking to each other, you hear of the doors.
Is the janitor gone?
Oh, burp! There would just be like a stream of like cosmic like beeps over what would have just come out of Bire's mouth.
All right.
Solid 15 seconds.
Okay, he did say we needed to turn on some water somewhere to get generated.
Water valve.
Yeah, water valve.
I pull out my reporter notebook that I was jotting notes on, and I say, Dr. Allen, office, fail-safe valve in the water pumps or something, and then to restart the power in the control room or whatever. Sounds
that's right.
So, you ready to get searching?
You still want me to stay here?
No.
Okay. Here's your camera. Thank you. If we do see him again, I will beat him with the broom.
Oh no.
Yeah, I will. That's not a person anymore. No. It's fine. It's like when you messed with that floating guy and you turned him into go. It's fine.
And you just hear echoing through the hallway that laugh.
Let's keep going.
Yep. We go through the door, I think you said to the south that we haven't gone through yet.
Yeah,
Right, that's the one we
at.
haven't left through yet. Yeah.
That's where we're going. That's what we do.
No. Pushing through that door. The one thing that's noticeable here is the feeling in the air. It's like static electricity. Kind of raises the hairs on your skin a little bit. Not like a spooky way, but in like a palpable way. Like if you touched metal, it would probably shock. As you cross the threshold into the corridor. Now, leaving through this southern hub, or the southern door of the little transfer hub that you guys were in, again, you find yourself in those hallways. Concrete walls, various bits of equipment kind of pushing out at angles and heading off into other rooms and so on and so forth. Still dark, still red light being cast every 100 feet or so. Just enough to see, but not really enough to get a good grasp of what's in here outside of what I've described. Now, the door leads out into the hallway, like I said. But you kind of end up in the main hub here. As you go down a little short jaunt, you connect to the main chunk of hallway again. It extends both in an eastern and a western direction. In this case, on the eastern side, which would be on your left as you're kind of heading down this way, you do see a large set of doors. You know, these are big, probably like 10-foot doors. They have a push bar. They're painted green. You can kind of see the contrast in the red light. That's the door that's closest to you. But if you look down to your right, to the west, you do see various other doors kind of scattered down throughout that hallway. This hallway a little bit bigger than the ones you had been in previously on this level.
What do you think, left or right? We could rock, paper, scissors, and if I win, we go left. If you win, we go right.
All right. Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, one more.
Oh,
Great.
one more. Okay,
All right.
left.
Okay.
Going towards the big doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, who's going first? And what do you guys do? So, like I said, it's about a 10-foot door with painted green. It's got push bars in front of it.
I have the light, so I guess I'm in front. Unless you want to hold the light. I have a small pistol. You see my hand.
Remember.
You see my hand holding the pistol, but like shaking. Like I don't want to use it, but he has the light. The light is steady. It's his hand.
I can go second because I have the bulletproof vest, but I'm not exactly like the best person to protect us from the back. So
I will keep very back with gun out in case anything try to get us. Just blow it up. Because I now have reached point of shoot first, ask questions later.
Okay. So I push the push door into the large room with the green door.
Pushing forward. A nice click, like you feel it come in, the handle of the door push in. And as you push the door open, it's got that echo, just like that noise into the next chamber.
I'm gonna put my smartphone tripod in between this door and so it doesn't shut behind us.
Okay.
smart.
Make note and remember that it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, with a click like that, I don't want to get locked in whatever room it's in.
Just a nice tactile feel as you push
I
the
do
door
have
open.
bolt cutters.
That's true.
Now, the room beyond, your light is sort of just lost. Because this is a massive room. Now, it's large, and there's just enough of that red light that casts throughout, so you can get a good sense of how the scale of this place. Now, it's huge, and the room is domed. Think of not quite football stadium, but maybe half that size. Big. But that same general shape, so you have sort of a square bottom and dome that kind of rolls at the top. Now,
Nothing about this building makes sense.
So as you enter this room, see a few things. At the center is a pylon. Kind of like, those large, they're electric pylons that you kind of see in the countryside, the conduits that bring power to the various communities and power plants. Those big tall structures, metal wire frames. Not wire frames, but... So picture something like that. However, it's been built specifically for this. It's a little hard to tell, but there's this pylon that's sitting right in the center, and there's just wires dripping off of it, kind of extending into conduits in the walls. There's pieces of equipment that are bolted on in all sorts of forms, and at the bottom is just like they put it on top of a building. This large central sort of hub beneath this pylon, and around it you see a ring of metal. And it's thick, it's perfectly circular, goes all the way around the base. Now, this room does not only include that. That stands at the center. There's also kind of pushed off to the side along one of the walls. Maybe it would be on the eastern side, so on your left as you guys enter the room. It appears to be a glass chamber. clear walls with, you can see the steel supports with equipment beyond. Now, before we dive into this room proper, at this time we take a short break.
Are you enjoying the Bureau? Well, you can show off your allegiance to the Monolith with exclusive merchandise, including short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, hoodies, and more. All proceeds from sales go directly to funding production and the cast and crew of the Bureau. You can check out our special bonfire shop in the description below. Consider donating to the Help Brandy Get to Safety Fund in order to assist with our player and friend Brandy Rose's moving costs as they make a necessary move from the United States back to their home of Germany. Brandy is a great person, friend, streamer, and producer. Let's show that we can come together as a community. Anyone who donates at least $10 to the fund, send me a screenshot of your donation and your name and you'll get a special shout out during the show. You can find the link to the GoFundMe in the description below. If you are enjoying the programming, The Bureau, you can find the system Liminal Horror and its module, The Bureau, at goblinarchives.itch.io/liminal-horror. The link is in the description below. If you're enjoying this program today, consider subscribing to Gehenna Gaming to get up to date with all our latest actual play series.
And welcome back. Where we left off, our group had just entered this massive domed room. At the center, a large pylon just covered in equipment with effectively a building at its base. And then also in that room was it's a glass room, but you can see the steel support structures on the outside of it. If that makes any sense. And if you want to go explore that, I'll explain it a little better. However, you've entered this room, this echoing chamber. And you hear the door. The door makes the noise, and it's just like pop, pop, pop across the chamber. And then another noise kind of reverberates. Another muffled explosion. This like, and then just the scream. Ah! Seems to be coming from the west, but the noise, the yelling, just fades away after a few moments. And it's kind of hard to gain a little sense of bearing in terms of space because it's echoing throughout this massive chamber too. The noise that's generated from that. That being said, you guys have entered this space. What do you do?
I would like to point out maybe we get lucky and that screaming is the janitor. Also would like to point out that I think this might be a control room, which I believe was step 3. So I think we have done this in reverse order.
Does that mean whatever we're supposed to do is that way?
The math of what you said checks out, I think. But I could be wrong. Maybe this is where those pipes are, but I don't see anything really water related. This all looks rather electricity related.
Yep.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's one of those things where, it looks like one thing, but it is another, because this place is so weird, and that man was so nuts.
Okay.
I guess it would be along the wall, right? So I guess we just keep looking.
Yeah, and this isn't the only door here. Vaguely in the direction of that noise. On the western end, there was another set of green double doors pushing to the space beyond. This room is big. It's concrete floors. Pylon in the center. Presumably control room fairly adjacent to it. You can continue to push on. You can explore the room. Either way, what do you guys do?
All right. I guess we decide. Do we try to do this in order or not? Because we are here. He did say without the water, though, that the electricity wouldn't work.
I wonder if we're supposed to get this Alan person back to his room, because when the power goes on and the elevators are on, he's gonna be loose and, you know.
Who is this Alan? Like, he wasn't able to tell us anything about it.
He wasn't really able to do much, period. So I don't know. But he said Alan and something happened to him. So maybe it's like the overseer dude. Maybe it's like that dude where you know, the government lady said that, Janet, where she said that, you know, he doesn't usually kill people, but he was having a day today. Maybe it's like that. Maybe he got maggots under his skin and didn't take it as well as I am.
All right. I think one of us needs to go into the water room to turn it on, unfortunately.
I can, if you want. I don't mind. I can check door over there and see if that is where that leads. I will peek head in very quickly, and if it does not look promising, I think maybe we should try down opposite side of hallway.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we try to find and wrangle the doctor.
Yeah. You and I are looking for doctor. Sounds good.
Oh.
Okay. So Yulia, you're heading to the western door, correct?
Yes, and she's going to take shotgun, and she is going to kind of put it and brace it on shoulder so that she still has arm to open door, and she'll be shooting backwards into room if she sees anything.
Okay, lovely. Let's start with you, then. We'll come back to Xavier and Bire. So, shotgun held out. Push forward into the door. Now, this room you find yourself in, pitch black. Not even the emergency lights.
She will reach into pocket and pull out a camera and set it on top of shotgun and shine light, almost like a police officer does with light and gun.
So, as you push into this room, presumably you enter the room, or are you just sitting at the doorway?
I'm leaning into doorway, so like top half is in, back half is out.
Okay, lovely. So, in the limited light of the camcorder, the room before you, it drops. Stretching out from this door on the same level is like a metal gangplank, sort of the, I don't know what to call it, recessed steel, I suppose. Or mesh, like steel mesh, is probably a better way to describe it. That makes up a walkway that, it kind of starts on this side of the room. It extends across, and there's a door on the far side. Now, with the light that you have from the position, you can see the rest of the room drops beneath it. So that gangplank is on the level you're at, and then whatever the contents of this room are seem to be below you.
I will shine the light down and see how far I can see.
Okay. You'll have to push into the room a little bit to get that.
Yes, I will do.
So you step in, and as you step on that metal mesh, that gangplank, you can feel the purchase of your feet not quite slip, but slide just a little bit. And the moisture of the room is very obvious, especially as you start to breathe it in, and you can kind of feel that, like, not seizing of your chest by any means, but the way that it kind of makes it harder to breathe. It's so humid in here. And as you look down with your light, you see just this curious, the catwalk, it only extends above it. So it's just a thin walkway. There's a set of stairs that seems to go down. But there's like a ton of pipe work, just twisting pipes just set onto the floor, probably about 15 feet below your feet. Large, what would be metal drums connecting to massive, 8 to 12 inch pipes that kind of twist and swirl and push in various directions. As you shine your light, you also see that pipework is caked in black mold.
Well, so I can feel the humidity in the room. Do I see any sort of like running water or anything like that is above or below, or are the pipes dripping? Is there any way to rinse off some of this mold? And she will take her shirt and cover her face with it.
Yeah, the pipes below, it's probably pretty easy to see that some of them are starting to weep at their joints. You know, the bits of water are starting to drip out. You can kind of clearly see like one of those giant turn wheels pushed in, coming out from some of the pipework at the bottom, and a little bit of water is just kind of like squirting throughout. It's worth noting, all that pipework is beneath you. None of it extends up to here, but there is, tons of dripping water, and like I said, you can feel the humidity in this room. It's cold. It's not like it's hot, but it's noticeable.
She'll head down a little closer to take a look at pipes and see if she can see where, if there's anything disarray where it's supposed to fit, maybe some of the stuff that she sees, or is it apart in pieces and that's how I see the mold, or the mold is growing onto the pipes looking like it's obstructing it?
The mold is covering the pipework. And as you kind of like sneak down the staircase a little bit. Like I said, there's a metal staircase that kind of winds back and forth down to it. And as you get a little closer, you just see just like lumps of mold just formed of black. It coats the floor. It coats the base of the pipes. It's not all the way to the top, to say it, but the flecks are kind of coating everything. But that thick mold is mostly in the floor and stretching at the bottom, like 2-3 feet of it. But it's a couple of back and forth kind of thoroughfares cutting through the pipework there. They're set on concrete bases. You can see again, there's a valve in there somewhere. It actually looks like a couple of them, a couple big wheels. I don't know if you call them wheels, but giant valve wheels that are kind of set in on the pipes at various parts.
Yeah, she will head over to some of the wheels, and whichever one is closest, and she will give a little turn to see if that makes the water flow through.
No. Before you get to that point, as you make contact with the floor at the bottom of the stairs, your foot just squelching into the mold. You see movement. Some of those mounds start to quiver and shift, and you hear like a snapping as they begin to stand up. Now you see, forming from the darkness, humanoid forms pulling themselves off the floor, off of the pipework. 1, 2, 5, 10, 15 or so, within just your view, just pulling themselves off, starting to wander in your direction.
Let's see. She will now double fist guns. She has the one out shotgun kind of braced, one hand on the shoulder, again still going behind, but she will pull out palm pistol with other hand and try to, she will head towards them. They are between her and the valve, correct?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of valves here, and like I said, you see 15 of them, and you hear the shuffling of maybe 15 more.
She's going to take note when she sees them where they are, because she knows once she pulls trigger of shotgun, she will not be able to listen to them for quite some time afterwards, because she will have ringing probably very strong in her ears.
And it's worth noting again, this is I think we had specified during the session you picked it up. I listed it as a combat shotgun. It shoots slugs, not pellets.
Oh, okay. What is the difference there?
Single target versus scatter.
Oh, okay. Then yes, she definitely then also has the palm pistol on other side, so that because there is way more of them than there is of her at this point.
That's true. Do you fire them?
I start to move towards, but I don't fire.
I'm moving towards you, believe me.
I don't necessarily pull trigger until, as they say, you can see whites of their eyes. I know they probably don't have whites of the eyes, but she's waiting to get particularly close to them to actually shoot them, so she doesn't waste a shot.
Now this mob is slowly forming. 15, 20, 25 or so. Just shifting. You feel them squelching in the mold. And more seem to be ripping themselves off of the wall and standing up from the floor, moving in your direction. No eyes, just, you see the shape of a head. Just black mold. Take the shot, okay?
Yeah, as soon as I can see kind of shape of where I'm aiming for, like a head or some portion of them, I will take shots.
So like, you fire. Now, for the sake of mechanics, if you're kind of double pumping here, what you do is you roll both dice and take a higher. Your combat shotgun has a D8, the pistol has a D6 damage. So you take the higher of the two of those. And remember, there is no roll to hit, it's simply damage versus hit protection.
5 is my higher number.
Okay, so with the shotgun and the pistol, you shoot one flare, it hits into one of these mold zombies? Whatever you want to call them. One of them just takes the slug from the shotgun, and just you see mold just kind of scatter throughout the room. You gun another one down with the pistol. 25. Shift forward. There are enough right in front of you now where they start to reach out with their arms to begin to start to grab and rip and pull at you as you're still standing basically at the base of these stairs. They deal 4 points of damage to you. But more keep coming.
I will take shots again at them if I can. I just keep firing.
Yeah, so in terms of how combat and mechanics are working, there were 27 of these entities walking your way. You have killed 2 of them. There are 25 left.
Oh my god.
You're at the base of the stairs.
Yeah, I'd skedaddle.
You can fire. Might not make it out of it.
I will fire as I back up.
Okay. So give me another 2 damage rolls.
Ooh, I got an 8 on that one.
8, okay. Again, you just fire the slug. It hits into one, it kind of shatters the one closest to you. Another couple of shots from the palm pistol and the 2 go down. The rest of them, now aggravated, surge forward. As you're moving back, their arms start to kind of grip up and rake at you. They're kind of crowding around the stairs as you're backing up, firing into them. As they get at you and start to scratch you, and you can kind of feel like the hands wet and damp, just dragging against your skin. They deal 3 points of damage.
And these are to my hit points, correct?
Yes.
What do I do if I am negative hit points now?
Okay. Any remaining points is deduced from your strength score directly as you start to begin to take serious physical harm. And as that happens, I need you to make a strength save for me.
Okay, that is a D20, correct?
Yep, D20 equal to or under your current strength score.
I got a 2 under 10.
Lovely. Okay, you remain standing.
She will continue to back up and keep firing. It is her goal at least to take out as many of them as possible while trying to regroup with the others.
As you push up the stairs, firing the gun and the palm pistol, you soon run out of ammo on one and probably switch to 2 hands on the other. We will head over to Xavier and Bire.
All right.
Oh boy.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? This is a few minutes to pass.
Yeah, we're starting a few minutes in the past by going, I think, probably in the hallway looking for this person.
Yeah.
The doctor.
Okay.
I'm gonna call out Dr. Allen. Be really
I-
cool
I-
if you were
I-
a normal person.
I jokingly go, Dr. Allen, paging Dr. Allen. Please come to the.
We have like the final girl character in the other room fighting for their life, and
I'm the
in
comic
this room,
relief.
it is the two people that like would not survive a horror.
Oh,
film
absolutely not. I'm,
by themselves.
I've accepted it.
Okay. Now,
Tight.
we can keep this simple.
Great.
You guys are walking through the hall. You feel that static. You smell the ozone. And you're starting to pace the hall, calling out for Dr. Allen. When you hear the blasts just echoing through the hallway, just pow, pop, 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 pow.
Does it sound like it's coming ahead of us? Like from ahead of us?
At this point, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
It's sort of echoing through the hallway. It's muffled. You kind of hear it maybe even through the walls. Just this bang, and then a couple of pops.
Do you think
Well,
Yulia is like fixing the water pipes? Maybe that's them like, turning on or something, right? That's got to be it, right?
I think of the three of us, we probably don't have to worry about her that much. I'm sure she's handling it.
That's a lot of sounds, though. I guess we keep walking down the hallway in that regard.
Yeah. Still calling out Dr. Allen's name, just like voice slightly tighter.
Yeah.
Okay. Just push on down the hall. You see, it's pretty bare hallways until you get to a point where there's a number of doors. Closest to you, immediately on the right, would be the northern side. It's another one of those push doors. A little while later, there are to your left. You see another set of double doors. This is green in nature again. That kind of push in. Just beyond that, again on that same southern side of the hallway, a single doorway, metal push bar, and then at the very end of the hallway, a doorway. So immediately on your right, there's a door. There's two on your left, and then there's one straight ahead at the end of the hallway.
Where
Just gonna split up.
We're splitting
Poke our
up.
heads through maybe just for a second to like open the doors and see which one looks more promising.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's fine.
We can still see each other. We're still
Yeah,
in the same
except
room.
I'm not the protagonist. Got it. And I walk over to the farthest door.
So the one at the end of the hallway?
Yeah, I guess to peek my head in.
Which one's BRA looking in?
The one that is closest to me.
Okay. We'll do that one first because it's easier. The one that's closest to you is a set of those plastic polyurethane double doors. You can kind of peek in real quick and find yourself in that storage room that you guys were in previously, the one adjacent to the janitor's office.
Oh, well, ignoring that.
Yeah.
So next.
Going to go join him.
Yeah. So, Dave, as you push down the hall, you reach the end. And again, there's now two doors to your left. One's a set of double doors, and one's a little single door. The one at the end of the hall, single door, has like an L handle. So you theoretically push it down. However, marked on this door is a large red X, and it looks like somebody sprayed like spray foam around.
Oh, I take it back. I am not opening that door. like he's ready to open that door. Then he's like, "What? No, I'm not unleashing whatever monster from another realm or whatever this is."
And you can hear this like kind of coming from the room.
Okay.
Well,
What? Whoa!
oh. I am not the scariest thing in this building.
No, you're not. Oh, except, we're not going to talk about it, right?
And like as a like joke, like dead serious face, gonna like go like as if to like poke you, like I did the like dude from the first episode.
Oh, I'm terrified.
I'm just gonna start laughing if you flinch.
Yeah, I do. So you poke me, I flinch. I'm like,
Yeah.
Am I still here?
No, you died. Welcome to the afterlife.
No, if I was dead, I wouldn't still be in this stupid hallway. All right. This door has a big X on it. Don't suggest we go in there unless that is the office for Dr. Allen.
I don't know if that's his office, but I do think that given what we've been through, that's probably where he is. And we need to get him to his office.
Got it.
So if that is his office, we need the door open. If it's not and he's behind there, we need the door open. You know, you have a gun, and I have... I'm just gonna police baton.
Yeah. All right.
I have this, and you know, they never kill two comic relief characters at the same time because the audience would be too upset. So we can hope that
yeah, they just get the one who's the more annoying of the two, and I know which one that is. That's me, if you were wondering. I opened the door very slowly.
It's about to be. About to have a plot twist on our hands.
Grab the push the door handle, depress it, and you begin to shift, and it's stuck.
Oh.
See, the door doesn't want us to open it either.
I'm gonna try to kick it because I have higher strength than he does. So, like, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Now, again, the door is unlocked. It's just held by the spray foam that's spread around the edges.
Oh.
So you can depress the handle. If you want to give it a kick, go ahead and give me a save.
Oh, well, now we've done it. I said it, so we're doing it.
Yeah.
What's the roll? D20?
D20 equal to or under your current strength score, please.
I missed it by 1. I got a 10, but my strength is a 9.
Okay. So you go to kick it, and that's just straight leg into it. You can kind of feel the reverberation kind of bounding up your leg.
Can I try to kick it? I want to be cool.
Sure.
Oh yeah, because I look so cool right now.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Like hopping on one foot.
I rolled a 7, which doesn't sound very bad, but my number is a 6.
Okay.
What is with us? This is embarrassing. This is like when the main character like leaves us alone and we can't do shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Deirdre kicks the door, and it's like you feel it in the heel of your foot, and you're kind of about to step back a few as Xavier goes up, and do you try and kick it with you?
I did, yes.
Okay. You
I
go for the kick, and that's just same thing, just stiff leg, just the door doesn't budge. You know.
All right.
Oh, okay. You know what? We're not action heroes, but you know what? We do have tools, and I'm gonna take my bolt cutters out because those can probably scrape through the foam pretty well. So I'm gonna start trying to scrape at the foam.
Okay.
With the bolt cutter, like
easy
sharp
enough.
edged. Yeah.
It's just spray foam insulation.
Yeah.
It's not the hardest stuff in the world. With your bolt cutters, you have that metal edge. You can just kind of quickly and break.
We don't tell anyone about this.
Oh no,
the door.
Absolutely not. No. What are you talking about? I tried the door handle again.
Okay. Again, the process this time is a little bit of a give, but you get a resounding as the door kind of breaks from its seal. And as you push it open, the rumbling noise of the HVAC system. It's not like cacophonous or anything like that, but it's loud. And it's clearly idling, like I talked about earlier. There's still something circulating. There's still air moving. And true to form, as you push the door open, you find the HVAC. Blowers, just big pieces of industrial equipment filling the cramped space. A little bit of room for somebody to kind of get in and get out to do maintenance on the system or change the filters or so on and so forth. Except the entire room is coated in black mold.
Oh.
And as you push the door open and look inside, just waft of spores just into the room. I need the both of you to make control saves for me.
I'm okay. I rolled a 3 under 12.
I rolled an 11 under 16.
Okay. And as the spores kind of, you breathe them in for a second, both of you probably have coughing fits.
Yeah.
But you're otherwise unharmed for the moment.
That's probably why they wrote those X's.
Yeah, never mind. That was not smart.
This
Wow.
this place has a serious problem, and it looks like they're just locking it in here. It's mold. It spreads.
Do you leave the door open?
Yeah, we should close that. We're gonna
Yeah.
close it.
Yeah.
Who closed
Unfortunately, it is now no longer sealed.
I'll close it.
it? It was a door that pushed in.
Oh,
So what's that mean?
Got
It
a
means
room
that-
trap door handle.
yeah. Huh. Can you?
We're gonna leave it, I guess. Then no.
I mean,
Unless you want to like sacrifice some clothing or something. Oh, I have a blazer. I guess I can like awkwardly, because I have like the blouse and the blazer and the bulletproof vest. So, like maybe I'm just gonna try and take the blazer off under the bulletproof vest and pull it out and hand it over.
B-Day was the real action star all along. Yeah. We tie it up.
So do you?
But
How do you?
I think we're trying to figure out a way to tie off the door, like to shut it and like.
Do you
it
still
shut.
see those spores drifting, little bits of white, like snow, just swirling out through the door as
Yeah.
the HVAC continues to rumble?
Is there like a switch on the HVAC to shut it down?
Might be in there.
Fuck. Okay. All right.
I mean, do we even really need to do this? I mean, we're trying to find valves for if the water failsafe and.
But maybe if we turn it off, maybe it'll be easier to find. I mean, where they were talking about water pumps, right? This
Yeah.
has to be an issue connected to that, right? How about this? You and he hands B-Day the gun and the flashlight. I'm going to look for the button. Just shine it, and you should be able to see if anything
Okay,
happens.
I'm
Alright.
gonna. I got it. I'm just gonna hold it up and hold the and I have to, like, I'm gonna just put my baton, the collapsible one, back in my satchel and hold the gun instead.
All right. I'm gonna look for a button to shut the HVAC down.
You going into the room then?
Yeah, I with my like little shirt around my face like this.
So I need two things from you.
Yep.
The first is a luck roll.
Okay. All right.
That's a D6. So we're looking for low.
Okay. All right. That's a 2.
Too lovely. So as you rush in with the light, quick look around, you see a very like cartoony. How was it called? Handle? Switch. That's the word. Switch. Large nature is kind of posted up on the concrete wall, and you look, you run in, you go to grab the switch, pull it. You hear the of the HVAC system kind of turn off. Breathing a sigh of relief, I need you to make another control save.
Oh. Nope.
Is that a fail?
Yep. It's a 18 over 16.
And as you're leaving the room, you turn to leave. Just breathe the spores in. Need you to roll a d12 for me.
Oh no, that's never good. Here. All right. Let me make sure this is D10. What's my D12? 4.
As you stumble out of the room, coughing.
Mm-hmm.
You look down. The tips of your fingers are stained black. The same black as that mold. And as you look, you can almost see it beginning to creep up the tips of your fingers. You've taken the fallout. Creeping black mold. I need you to roll d4 and add that to your strength save.
I mean, okay. That's a 3.
Okay. So your strength permanently increases to 9.
But I have the black mold creeping up my entire body. Got it.
And please note fallout on your inventory sheet.
All right.
Okay. As you stumble out, coughing from spores, HVAC system now off. The rest of the halls grow eerily quiet. You hear a bang, pop, 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 echoing through the room as we go back to Yulia. Now, you had started to push yourself up the stairs, firing like shotgun blast, pump, pistol, and the mob beneath you is crowding. You're taking out 1, 2, 3, continuing to fire. Now, you can fire into this crowd, and we can kind of do formal combat. I think that's a little boring here. I want you to tell me what you do to escape the mob before they overtake you. Because they are pushing up the stairs faster than you can fire your gun.
She is going to run into the adjacent room that had a control panel, and she is going to brace herself to kind of bottleneck them through the door so that when they follow her, hopefully through door back into other rooms, she will try to take them out with a little space between her and door where they are bottlenecking in.
Okay. Now that first one is to escape. You're trying to run. It's a dexterity save.
Okay. Six below 14.
Lovely. Okay, so you're able to kind of scramble up the stairs. They're pushing, they're slowly moving. Some of them are like crawling up the metal frame wires. Again, just these black humanoid figures, you know, kind of uneven surfaces coated in mold, just pushing forward. You make it to the top of the stairs. And you said you want to push back into the room with which you came?
The one that seemed to have control panel where door led into here, she's going to go back to that control panel room and head off the door, like from the control panel side.
Okay. So if you head back into the room you came in, that's the big domed room with the pylon that sits at the center. That control room that we were talking about is its own separate room within the big room. So it's like a...
then just right on opposite side of that door.
Okay, lovely.
Mm-hmm.
So you push out, and you sit on the other side of the door. You reload.
Yes, I reload, and I give myself maybe about like 10 feet back from the door if I had it.
No, I need you to make a luck roll.
Okay.
See if you still have enough shells for the shotgun in your pack.
Is luck D20.
D6, we're looking for low.
I got a 1. Ooh, I love my guns tonight. They love me.
So there were, I think, a dozen shells in there. As you dig into your pack, after you've been firing away, you find an additional 4 that you can load back into the gun.
Yes, she will do that, and then she will wait for them.
Okay. So you push back beyond the door. Do you close the door?
Not all the way. I want to kind of leave it adjacent so that they still have to push through a little bit, which might slow them down, giving me time to actually take a shot at whatever's coming through.
So you leave it adjacent. You're holding the gun. And after it seems like a bit too long, you see one push through.
I fire.
fire. Okay, 1, pow, it goes down, splattering of black ichor and mold. A second and third appear.
I fire again,
Okay.
basically until I run out of bullets.
Shots 2 and 3, take those down. They're starting to pile up, and you see a larger force hit the door as 3, 4, 5, 6 now begin to push through and try and scramble into the space. This should probably, with the shots that you had, 18 left.
That is a lot.
As you fire the 4th shot of the gun, and that you get that resounding click as you run out of shotgun ammo.
Do I see one indoor, or does it look like is there a moment of hesitation before more of them are coming at all, or are they all just right on top of each other now?
The hesitation was when they were first flowing through. They're starting to push through. You created a little bit of a barrier from bodies that are now kind of clogging the door, but they're as a mob now pushing through. The door, starting to get wrenched fully open, and they're starting to the process of flooding into the room you're in, the large room.
She will push back again, this time into actual control room, if she can make it.
Okay. You run across the room as the mob, 15 or so, kind of pushes forward and begins shuddering in your footsteps. Now the control room is just on the other side of this chamber. This is, 50, 60 yards across. It's a big room. You're able to outpace them and kind of open the door into the control chamber. Like I said, this is a room made of glass walls, but it's clearly built around a support structure. So in between the panes of glass, you see like steel beams that kind of go up and make the room itself. You can see in it, and theoretically people that were in the room can see out of it. And as you push through the door, you find yourself, like I said, it's a control chamber. There is a control panel. It's a large desk, essentially. It's slightly curved in nature. There's several terminals kind of embedded into that desk. And there's an array of knobs, switches, gauges, all kind of unfamiliar things that are kind of spread throughout there. One of the terminals is on, and you can see it kind of blinking. And then there are a couple of that look like conduit boxes, towers just kind of sit up there. Each of them have a panel that kind of sits in front of them. All those are closed at the moment. There's probably half dozen of those man-sized sort of towers that have those panels on it. The room itself is not very big. That's pretty much it. You see a chair sitting by the control, terminals there. And as you close the door behind you, you can see through the glass wall for that mob now pushing in your direction.
I again would not like to close the door, but instead what I'm going to do is now, having a better ability of knowing about how tall these things are, she's going to take that wire, the garrote, and she's going to tie it in the gap of the door, hoping that as they rush in, maybe it takes their head off and decapitate as they go through.
It's worth noting that there's no way out of this chamber outside of that door. This is a locked room, a small room in and of itself.
Does she still have bullet left in a smaller gun? She's out of shotgun shells, but the palm pistol still have ammo.
How about you roll luck for me and see if you're lucky enough to have that?
It's a 3.
A 3? A clip. So a handful of shots, not enough for all 15.
How thick does the glass look?
Reasonably thick. A couple inches, maybe not a couple, at least an inch. So as you filter in, you can kind of take a quick look to see your gun. You see you've got one clip left, or you're able to kind of click it back in place. You've got a few moments. If you want to do the Garrett trick, you can. But like I said, there's only one door into this chamber.
And there's about, how many of them left? About 18?
A dozen to 15, somewhere in that range. It's a little hard to tell as they're lurching in your wake.
She's going to risk it because she knows that she's either going to hopefully take out a bunch of them with the wire until that gives, and then use the rest of her bullets to hopefully kill the rest, or use one of those bullets to shoot out glass behind her and run.
Lovely. So as you quickly string up the garret, do you leave the door fully open and put the wire across? Do you leave the door part of the way and kind of tie it?
So I use it to kind of keep it at like a certain width, so that they almost have to squeeze in and push themselves into it. So I do tie it off, but not with it wide open. I want it to have a little bit of give, so when they push, it's taut enough to.
Okay. And maybe there's like a locking mechanism that you're able to kind of tie it to, like a bolt lock or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you're able to kind of quickly tie it across and leave the door ajar as the mob is now coming up again. You see one of them lurch forward and just Garrett taking them off, and the body sort of collapses onto the ground, leaking black ichor into the room. As that happens, we go back to Xavier and Vire. Door to the HVAC room still open, coughing in the wake of it. Black mold creeping up the fingertips. You guys hear, again, echoing down the hall, the bang, pop, pop.
That's still happening. That's coming back from down the hall. That sounds farther away now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you good?
He coughs, and as he coughs, he like looks at his hands for what feels like the first time, because he was having that coughing fit and he wasn't really quite sure about it. Looking at his fingers, he just starts like, oh shit, I touched the handle. It must have, we gotta get out of here. We gotta shut this door. This is the mold. I can't. And he starts like trying to rub it off on his pants, and like he's like frantically trying to get it off. He's afraid to touch anything, but he's like, we gotta close the door.
Okay. Or we run away.
This stuff is spreading. If it's spreading on me, it could spread to any people. What about those, like, what about the janitor? Oh, right. You don't like the janitor. You probably would be fine with him getting it. This door was sealed for a reason. We should probably close it back.
Okay, well, you have my blazer.
All right. And he tries to tie the door closed behind them after they leave.
Yeah.
Now that the HVAC is off.
So are you trying to like lasso the door? Are you gonna cross the threshold and tie it and pull?
It's like
yeah,
over your It's like over your hands.
Yeah, it's over my hands.
So no contact. Like glove.
Across the threshold, reaching out with the glove to grab the door handle. The spores continue to swirl in the air. I need you to make another control save for me.
Oh man. Did my control go down on that last one?
No, it didn't.
Okay. That is much better. That's an 8 under 16.
Lovely. All right. So you were able to kind of like hold your breath. Blazer in hand, grab the door handle, shut the door.
All right.
What do you guys do?
We're outside the room, right? Like
yeah, you guys are in the hallway now.
Yeah.
There are doors,
I just wanted to make sure.
As you turn back around, the doors are on your right this time. It's still the southern end, but again, you hear that reverberating pops, the shots coming from further down the hall.
I think we should get back. Yeah, we should get back to the power room, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we can keep calling out for that doctor's name, but if we don't find him, we don't find him.
Yeah. All right. I guess we run down the hall towards where.
Loudly calling out for the Dr. Allen as we run, I guess.
And as you running down the hall, you hear another pop, pop, getting louder this time, coming from that large room you guys had left, the double doors, pushing in, vaguely where you have left Yulia. And then you feel taste of ozone. You taste the ozone in the air as you hear another cacophony, like pow, just echoing somewhere else within this. Probably off to the northern end. Maybe one of the rooms you guys have already been. And another set of screams and yells, and the trails off. So on your right is the door leading to that pylon room, that large open room that the noises are coming from. Pops. Vaguely to your left, that fizz, that bang, and the screaming.
All right. I guess
What do you
I mean,
Yeah.
if there's that much shooting, someone is fighting something. So
Yeah.
he takes a deep breath, starts coughing because his lungs are still kind of odd, and then regains composure and he goes, "All right, let's go." And he shoulder opens the door.
Okay. And you push into the scene as the door releases. You see in the emergency lights that clear, that glass room kind of framed off. It would be to your left at this point. And just littering the ground and leading up to it are these humanoid figures, black with mold that coats them, pushing up against the glass in the door of that chamber. You see a few of them, bodies scattered on the ground. Another 2 or 3 were cut by the garret, but then they are starting to claw at like the base end of it, pushing in as they're more and more, and they're stressing that wire that pushes against the door, and you see flashes, pop, pop, of a gun on the far side as more of them continue to fall. At this point, it's probably about 9 left.
Oh, I have the gun still.
Yeah, I'm. You just see me standing there, seeing like these creatures made of like the same black mold, probably with like those flecks of, like what the spores that kind of look like snow, like coming off of them.
Mhm.
He very clearly realizes that there's some connection there. He doesn't know what it is.
I need you to take 1 stress.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yep.
Yikes.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Um,
And
Yeah. The one
as
thing.
you approach the scene, you quickly, that visual connection is just. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna throw something at it because I don't have a gun anymore.
I am shooting.
What can I find that is slightly large for me to toss? And here's the thing: I
Want
know
to take my
that
police baton?
I am gonna take whatever kind of damage this is, but I'm going to use that new ability to be stronger, and I'm going to throw something really hard at them.
Maybe not my police baton then.
Yeah, not the police.
What about that?
You kicked the tripod that was holding the door open.
Nah, I'm leaving the tripod there.
Outside of
Stop
that,
trying to lock us in here.
Yeah.
I see you.
Let me
you
see.
have a shotgun mic. You've got an LED light, a smartphone.
Yeah, that's probably the. There's like no monitors or things in here.
It's a bare concrete floor
Got it.
leading to that pylon in the center of the
All right.
room and the control room that Yulia is hiding in.
Then I will grab the tripod and launch it at these dudes.
You're gonna throw it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it.
All right. Give me a D6. I'll give that to you. As you
That is a 5.
a 5, you watch as it sails and just like embeds itself into one of the figures, and it kind of crumples over and falls to the ground.
And I'm just shook it. I've never thrown something that well in my entire life. Like it was, if you imagine a football, it was like the perfect spiral. Like this tripod was just like right into it, and he's like, how did I?
Mm-hmm.
And Bira, you're firing the revolver.
Yep. D6, right?
Yeah, it's a snub nose. It's got limited range, but you guys are close enough at this point. D6, any damage from
6.
6. Easy enough. You take aim and fire the gun. It takes out one of them. At this point, they take notice of you.
Oh.
There's 7 left.
Oh.
4 turn and run in your direction.
Oh.
They'll take a turn to get to you. They turn, they notice you, and they sprint, leaving 3 at the door with Yulia. What are you doing in there?
Am I out of bullets at this point, or do I still have a few left?
A few left.
Oh, yes, I will continue to shoot the ones that are harassing me.
Give me a d6. They are, on their turn, they'll have a chance to break through the door. We'll get to that in a second, but a 4. Okay, there's 3 left at the door. You take aim, and pop, you fire, and 1 goes down, leaving 2 left at the door. Now, as the others turn to run to face off against Birre and Xavier, there's still the 2 left at the door. As they push against the garret, the door holds. In this case, they'll have another attempt, but that does bring us back to the top of the turn order, with Xavier and Birre as 4 run in your direction.
Can I see the baton? Can I see the baton, please?
Yeah, here.
I am about to, slugger hit one of these things in the head, or at least try to.
All right, as it rushes up, give me a roll. It's a d6.
All right. That is a 2.
A 2? Let's see if it still stands. No. So you're able to line it up and just pop, and it's just a mold. As you kind of put in the soft flesh, and it yields to your baton. Birre, what are you doing? You have another, still 3 standing, and 1 is leaping towards Xavier. They've just now whacked the second one. 2 are heading in your direction.
Oh god. I'm gonna shoot. I have to shoot.
Okay. Pick one. Give me a d6.
Shoot the one that he didn't hit. That's going at him.
Okay, so the 2 remaining will be heading in your direction on their turn.
I think there are 2 in your direction. 1.
Yeah, there's 3 left.
Oh, there's only 1 in. Oh, okay. Sorry. Then one of the one that's coming to me that he didn't hit. So one of them.
Give me a d6.
Yeah. Okay. Oh god. Not a right click. Fucking 3.
3, perfect. You're able to kind of level the pistol and pow, and it hits 1, and it just shatters mold, and it falls to the ground. There are still 2 more lurching in your direction. I will come back to them. There are 2 now pushing their way into the door, pushing against the frame. Yulia, what are you doing? You've got a couple of shots left. It's hard to tell.
She's going to try and shoot again. Take out another one.
Give me a d6 for the revolver or the snub nose pistol, and then after that, I need a luck roll from you.
I got the 1 on the d6.
Okay. We will see if it still remains standing. It does not. So that you're able to fire, and it kind of just enough to kind of collapse or crumple. These things aren't very strong. They're just numerous.
And the luck roll is a d20 again, you said?
Sorry, d6. We're looking for lows.
Another 1. I love this die.
Yeah, you're having a great night. I love it.
You have a bullet left in the palm pistol.
Just 1, and there is still 1 standing, right?
Yeah.
She kisses the gun before next round and goes, "Oh, carry me through this."
Yeah, we will get there in a moment. Because that last one pushes against the door, you see the metal of the garret just push, and then blink, snaps as the door swings open.
Shit.
Now, that was its turn. There are still 2 lurching towards Xavier and Birre. They're going to leap forward, molded arms grasping and pulling at you. The one going after Xavier does 4 points of damage as it begins to reach out.
And then the 1, so I have 3, so I would take 1 point of, I would take obviously all 4 of that, but I would go over by 1, so that means my strength goes down.
The point pulls from your strength, and keep note of what your score is. It's only theoretically temporary, but as it grasps onto you, you feel this wet, moldy arm grasp and pull at your skin. I need you to make a strength save.
Okay. That's a D. Let's see. 8 of 8.
Lovely. You're able to remain standing.
Okay.
The second one is now lurching towards Bire. That does 3 points of damage.
To me?
Yes, as it
Oh no.
tries to hit you at least. I think your hit protection is enough to avoid serious harm.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
My hit points was 3. Was 6.
As it swipes, you're kind of able to quickly dodge and, not be claimed by its grasp. But that does bring us to all of your turns. Let's start again with Yulia, since you're in the room. You have 1 shot left. The door has been broken. It's coming for you. What do you do?
Yeah, I take it.
You take that last shot? Okay. Give me a d6.
It's a 3 again.
A 3? All right, that's enough. You're able to fire, and it just hits into it, and you watch it collapse onto the ground in just this pile of filth and ichor and mold that is just forming at the door, where all of them have sort of now been laid to waste. But that is the final shot of your palm pistol for now. But that does bring us back to Bire and Xavier. There's still 2 standing. They're on top of you at this point.
Yeah, shooting. Mouth closed, face gone, shooting.
Give me a d6.
4.
4? Easy enough. Just another resounding bang from the revolver, and it spatters as you kind of blow a hole in it, and it collapses to the ground. Xavier.
Yeah, I have the baton, and I'm going to swing. That is a 5.
5, lovely. Again, you're able to kind of bat into it, and the baton sinks into wet, sopping flesh. As it tears through, the body collapses. Ichor leaking outward, mold covering this floor as it spreads as these bodies begin to decompose. And as the silence sets in, the ringing in your ears of so many gunshots in such a space, that is where we'll end today's session.
Wow.
Yep. I'm glad that we split the party.
Yeah.
Okay, before we say goodbye, quickly, round table, introduce who you are again, where we can find you, anything you want to throw out there. What was our order? We had an order.
Yep, it's...
Yes.
Randy, Megan,
Me,
Randy.
Meg. Yep. Hi, everybody. I'm Brandy Rose at the Brandy Rose on Twitter, Cutest Patoot on Twitch and TikTok, and Brandy Rose Official on Instagram. I'm a performer, designer, producer, many things all the time in many places. You can keep up with my Twitter to see where I'll be when. Sometimes you'll discover it at the same time that I do. That's just how it goes. And today I have been Bire, and I got to give you guys an extra immersive performance because I swatted away flies from bugging me. You can imagine that I was trying to swat away these little mold creatures. So yeah, make sure to keep up with me there. And then in my pinned tweet, I have a GoFundMe because, well, TLDR, some bad stuff happens and I need help. So I have that up there, and I will be continuing to do charity streams, as well as I've been very fortunate that other people have been very kind as to organize charity streams that will be coming and airing within like the next week and a half. So that's very, very nice. And I will be announcing streams that I do for it as well on the Twitter. So Twitter's the place to keep your eyes.
Hi there, I am Megan McCauley. You can find me on all of the socials at whatever they are /melee damage. Yeah, that's the best place to stay up to date with everything I do because I work in music, film, TTRPG. So there's a never ending flow of things to keep up with. And yeah, that's it.
Hey, I'm your favorite neighborhood mold boy, apparently. Have a lot to look forward to now. Anyway, when I'm not being haunted inside the bureau, you can find me in a multitude of actual plays and streams, and an occasional film project. So, there's that. You can find out about all of those things on my Twitter at RollerRaja. That's RollerRaja to find out all the really cool stuff. I have a couple projects that I can't announce yet, but they will be up there very soon. Most of them are in time for spooky season. Surprise, surprise. So get ready and come check me out.
And finally, as always, my name is Josh. You can find me on the Twitters at Unenthuser. That is Unenthusiastic User. That popped into one. If you are interested in the Bureau or Liminal Horror, you can find physical copies on the Exalted Funeral, or you can go to the Goblin Archives itch.io page to find the digital copies. It's in a bundle right now if you want the Bureau and the other module of them all for one convenient price. Now, that being said, you can also find merchandise for this podcast at the Bonfire store. Should be in the link below. And the proceeds of that help us continue to produce the series and help run the back end of the channel. Any and all sales are appreciated, and the print quality is actually pretty darn good, so I'm very happy with that. That being said, at the point that we're filming this, the first episode has premiered, and there has been a tremendous amount of support for that. So we want to thank you guys for showing off. That blew our expectations a bit out of the water for the first week of views. But we do ask that you guys continue to support the series, share it with your friends, talk about it in places. We want this to reach as many eyes as possible, because that gives us a better chance at coming back in the future for something a little bit more. So if you're watching this on some other form, through Twitter or share it on Discord or what have you, please give Gehenna Gaming the old subscribe, like the video, share. Let me show a little bit more. And please, because I want to do more of this. This has been a blast so far, and we will see what happens for our 5 remaining episodes. Being said, we'll see you guys next week.